It's about time you and the First Lady came to Israel, so anytime.
Thank you. Anytime.
Personal invitations, smiles, and handshakes helped set what many observers say was an overwhelmingly positive tone during Prime Minister Netanyahu's visit to the Oval Office. The meeting reflected a remarkable shift in a relationship that had been marred by significant disagreements. Robert Satloff is executive director of the Washington Institute for Near East Policy.
The most important development was not any particular word or phrase, but the clear effort by the president to change the atmospherics of this relationship, to change the perception of tension and crisis, and give off the era of good feelings between the United States and Israel.
While a single meeting at the White House is not likely to resolve 18 months of policy differences, Mr. Obama emphasized the continuing strength of the U.S.-Israel relationship.
The bond between the United States and Israel is unbreakable.
That bond was severely strained when Israel announced the expansion of Jewish settlements in mostly Arab East Jerusalem earlier this year during a visit to the region by U.S. Vice President Joe Biden. The mood was so sour that during Mr. Netanyahu's last visit in March, the White House barred cameras. Another meeting was postponed when a deadly raid by Israeli commandos on an aid flotilla led Mr. Netanyahu to cut short an overseas visit and return to Israel to deal with the crisis. But the incident did not derail indirect peace talks between Israel and the Palestinians. U.S. Special Envoy George Mitchell has continued shuttling between the parties in an effort to restart direct negotiations. Haider Suskind is vice president for policy and strategy at J Street, which calls itself a pro-Israel, pro-peace lobby.
It's everybody's goal to get to direct talks. We have to make sure that we get to those talks with the understandings in place for both the Israelis and the Palestinian side of what the parameters are, what they're discussing, what the time frame is, and what the U.S. is expecting in terms of the process as well.
Mr. Netanyahu is promising concrete steps to advance the peace process in the coming weeks. President Obama has endorsed an Israeli position to resume direct talks before the moratorium on settlement construction expires at the end of September. The Palestinians have said they will not agree to direct talks without a full settlement freeze. Again, analyst Robert Satloff.
It is impossible to imagine that this Israeli government will extend a moratorium on settlement construction without movement in the peace process.
Both Mr. Obama and Mr. Netanyahu back strong sanctions against Iran because of concern it is pursuing a nuclear weapons program, something Tehran denies. In a further effort to reassure the Jewish state, President Obama said there is no change in U.S. policy toward Israel's undeclared nuclear weapons program.
We strongly believe that given its size, its history, the region that it's in, and the threats that are leveled against it, that Israel has unique security requirements.
Mr. Obama also has domestic political reasons for softening his public attitude toward Israel. Opposition Republican candidates campaigning before November midterm elections are courting Jewish voters by trying to portray the president as anti-Israel. Any breakthrough in the peace process would help both leaders' popularity at home. Meredith Buel, VOA News, Washington.